In 2012 version 0.5.0, the Nether Reactor Core was added in Pocket Edition Alpha as a way of including the Nether, as the reason why they never included the Nether from Java Edition at the time were likely because the consoles before were not powerful enough to handle the Nether as a dimension. So Mojang pulled off the Mob to Get meme by including the Nether Reactor Core that instead spawned this Nether Spire structure, where you will see the old penguin model, glowing obsidian, and see items appearing from the ground. Unfortunately, the item was removed in version 0.12.0. So, where are we now? Considering that this is around its 10-year celebration, somewhere around there or longer, I thought of giving it a redemption. With this new generation of the community brainstorming, it could do something entirely different than what it once did, and so that is the intention for this video. What could the Nether Reactor do differently 10 years later if it hypothetically returned? So, welcome boys and girls, men or women of any age. Let's begin, shall we? The first and most obvious tweak I would change to the Nether Reactor Core is by giving it a makeover. This way it fits more like the Nether than mostly the golden blue color. The new recipe would be placing 4 real gold blocks in the shape of a circle, on the right, left, top, and bottom, and 4 dark gray gold bars in each corner. Lastly, a Nether star in the middle. And I wanted to stay true to its original theme as for a bit of nostalgia, while the item simultaneously offered something that makes it suffice its new, fresh challenge. The Nether Reactor, when activated, it will do a similar structured creation, its spire. However, the change is that it is a progressive, ever-growing battle. When the Nether Reactor Core is activated, the block will form a new kind of stone known as Spire Stone, a very durable block much like reinforced deep slate, and is capable of ascending the Nether Reactor Core. With each time you put a crack on it, the spire keeps on growing. In the first phase, which, by the way, I might as well mention its basic mechanics. The Nether Reactor Core, when unleashed, will create a shield reminiscent of the Wither, so projectiles can't deal damage. It can shoot out the blue Wither skulls that cause the Wither effect. Anyways, in the first phase, it is at a fairly low point. All is required for this, I guess you could call boss fight, is to place a few blocks up and just attack the Nether Reactor. But every time you start to crack it, it unleashes an explosion just to destroy nearby blocks, and the spire begins to ascend with it. This time, other spires begin to appear. On top of that, wither skeletons will now spawn every now and then to defend the Nether Reactor Core. So while it is a little more difficult, it's not too difficult. Yet. Keep in mind, this is only phase 2, so it ain't that bad. Just build your way up to the Nether Reactor, or make use of the other nearby spires and damage it, create an explosion, and this time, the spires grow a new variant of Spire Stone, known as Charged Spire Stone. This block is an obstacle where if you approach it too closely, it will explode. But unlike other explosive mobs or items, the charged spire spell doesn't disappear, so it can explode as many times as it wants to. Obviously it does have a 3-second delay, so it ain't too ridiculous. Phase 4 introduces a new mob known as the Wilted, a corrupt wither soul instructed to take you down. These flying soldiers will spawn from the Nether Reactor as it is nearly about to break, capable of dashing reminiscent of Bedrock Edition's Wither, and upon death will release something known as Wilted Remain. This is a new obstacle where, if stepped on, will inflict a really bad Amplifier 3 Wither effect, unless got rid of. Why this is so deadly is because imagine you are on a spire and you kill one of these, and the Wilted Remain spawns on either the spire you're on or a different spire. By the way, this stuff isn't like a lingering effect. It stays there until it is broken. So, if you can't tell already just by hearing what this boss battle features, is that you need the good amount of gear to take on this boss. Phase 5, the final phase of this boss, and this time it actually isn't about the spire, because all the spires, including the Nether Reactor, descend to initiate one last stand, to create itself as a mob, the Imprisoned. capable of summoning mini spires from above as little obstacles or just as a weapon, shooting wither skulls, just basically most of what it did during the spire phase. This time, however, to defeat the imprisoned Nether Reactor, you must destroy the heads of the imprisoned to open up its cage. Basically, it still gives the vibe of finding the spire, but this time as more like an objective, if that makes sense. Which is also worth mentioning, that the imprisoned legit has 300 HP or 150 hearts, the same as the Wither, although the actual damage you would deal to the imprisoned itself is mostly going to do nothing, as the Spire Stone, as I mentioned, is very resistant. So going for the heads is necessary. Now, before you may think that it sounds rather simple, it isn't, because the prison design can actually vary as it grows, the more heads you destroy. Its structure as it grows will vary in blocks, so it ain't going to be predictable. Upon destroying all the heads reveals the almost broken Nether Reactor Core, and upon destroying it, the imprisoned collapses into the ground to then unveil your new reward, a new pet known as the Spectre. The special use? Well, considering the beacon is also made up of a nether star, and the nether reactor also being made up of the same item, perhaps this could add on to the beacon, or something similar. My concept being that any effect you give to the Spectre, whether it be regeneration, strength, speed, or haste, you name it, the Spectre can upgrade your effect. Meaning that if you were normally drink a potion of regeneration amplifier 2, you could get it up to amplifier 3. Though this would have to come with a cost of only having one Spectre per player. Otherwise, the only reward you'll obtain when defeating the imprisoned is tons of experience, which actually almost matches that of the amount of the Ender Dread it gives. So, what do you think of this concept and the overall video? Sorry it took me a really long time because there were a lot of ideas I had for this, but I ended up scrapping them. Sorry, but I hope you enjoyed the video regardless, and I hope you were blessed with a golden day.